This is probably what he should have been focusing on in the first place, but it possibly just built that lair to give it extra HP and keep it from going down. Interesting game from Hyvaa, no matter which way you slice this, but there's one Muta out now for Shine. Hyvaa looks a bit exasperated because he's going to lose that Overlord, that's for sure. Has no means of defense against that. He's going to have to hide the rest of his Overlords, or he'll lose the one up at the 2 o'clock as well, because it's out there in no man's land. He has no way to defend it. So Shine probably going to take that down if he does find it. He's moving out right now with the Mutas over to Hyvaa's base. But since Hyvaa has one Spore Colony each of his bases kind of strategically positioned, that one Spore Colony is probably not going to be enough to protect the drones at this natural. The other one inside the main seems to be close enough to the mineral line to protect the rest of the drones. But luckily, a second Spore Colony is going to be morphed at this natural expansion. There's the Spore Colony firing on the Mutas, but the Muta is able to pick off one drone. But that second Spore Colony will do a lot for Hyvaa. But now he just needs to focus primarily on defense. He's moving out now with Zerglings, pressuring the front, trying to get Shine to run back to his own base. Stay away from him for a minute so he can build more Spore Colonies, more defense at his bases, and kind of drone back up. Since he spent the drone on the Spore Colonies, that puts you quite a bit behind, since you don't have a lot of drones to work with in the ZVZ anyway. But the Red Hatchery regenerating slowly but surely at the front. Got the Evolution Chamber blocking a bit for that Spore Colony. Keep the Zerglings from completely surrounding it. But now Shine is moving in. He has some Zerglings hanging outside that natural. And his Muta between the bases trying to find an opportune moment. He's going to try to... He snipes the Hatchery. So the second base goes down for Hyvaa. And there was not much he could do about that. It was in such low health anyway that, no amount of Spore Colonies would have been able to protect that base. So Hyvaa's moving out now with all of his Zerglings, sending them straight to Shine's base. Since Shine is building his building his natural expansion now, he's going to be a bit more vulnerable, but not that much. With the Mutas in, he'll be able to get rid of all the Zerglings eventually. He's just going to have to keep most of his drones safe if he wants to weather this storm, which it looks like he is going to weather the storm. And Shine himself is snuck inside of Hyvaa's main, sniping drones, sniping all those drones right after Hyvaa's second base went down, so that's absolutely devastating to Hyvaa. Oh man. So even being at the second base for a little bit of time, I'm not going to say a long period of time, because he was throwing down Spore Colonies to protect himself, wasn't able to mine while that was going on. So it got a bit of a boost from the second base, but not that much. And now Shine is going to try to get his economy up and going. Shine loses one drone, two drones, but that one single Zergling that snuck inside the main. Crouching Tiger, hidden Zergling. Alright, Mom, Grandma looking on, and yeah, the Spore Colonies will actually come quite a bit in handy for Hyvaa now. Now Hyvaa has to focus on the Zerglings. You see the Zerglings sneaking in. One Zergling from Shine sneaks in and tries to pick off more drones. But if he has some means of defense against these Zerglings, he's going to be okay to drone back up for now. Shine is going to be able to get many, many more Mutas in the air. But even a huge amount of Mutas will have trouble against two Spore Colonies at each base. But there is Shine. He's hovering outside this natural. Probably has quite a few of these damn Mutas grouped up by now. It's hard to tell just because of how tightly he's grouped them up. It seems like a lot to me. Let's see, Hatchery finally going to come up at this natural expansion. He's going to transfer back over with some drones to get that back up and mining. But right now, all Shiny McShinerson is doing is defending against any Zergling run-bys that might try to do another snipe like earlier, when that one snuck by to kill two drones. That was kind of a bad slip-up from Shine to let that happen. And so he's trying his best to keep it from happening again, killing all the rest of the Zerglings that are hanging outside. Alright. It's kind of a Zergling standoff now. Shine is droning up at his natural expansion. He's definitely going to be ahead of Hyvaa as far as economy goes. But taking out the second hatchery, that put Hyvaa quite a bit behind. He's just now droning up at his own natural expansion, but Shiny is quite a bit ahead, I think. Alright. All quiet on the Western Front so far. Shine is playing surprisingly defensive with the amount of mutas he has in the air. You'd think he would just try to go for the kill. It might lose quite a bit of mutas in the process, but with hardly any anti-air for Hyvaa, I don't think that it would be that big of a deal to even lose half of the mutas that he has right now. Okay, mutas chasing down the Zerglings again. One Zergling was sent to each base, so he's trying to multitask, shake it up a bit, go for more drones. But the drones now, some drone micro against the single Zergling that was inside this base, snipes it with the muta, so he's going to be okay as far as that goes. Hyvaa is doing the right thing by non-stop sending non-stop Zerglings to this base. Because he just needs time. He needs time right now. The most precious commodity he can get to drone up and get his own mutalist army in the air. Alright. Zerglings mostly just running in circles in the middle to draw the mutas, keep the mutas busy. But now the mutas are headed to Hyvaa's base, I think. See the red blob of mutas heading down to this main, getting straight inside the main, and Shine might think he has enough now to pick off the spore colonies. He's picking off what he can. Drone here, a drone there, right at the extractors, where extractor drones are. There's Hyvaa running into more resistance. And yeah, Shine definitely has more Zerglings on the ground now. So he doesn't have to worry about the ground, and he doesn't have to worry about the air, because Hyvaa, he just now started pumping mutas, but he's going to be way behind, really. I think there are two control groups, not full control groups from Shine, but looks like a control group and a half from him, or thereabouts. He's in there, and just picking off what he can. I'm really surprised he hasn't attacked now, considering how aggressive of a player that Shine is. He should probably go for this thing. And he's just trying to make sure he got his own third hatchery down, make sure he can keep up the pump of the mutas and everything like that. You can see down at the unit counter that Hyvaa has about half the amount of troops that Shine has, and in a mirror matchup, that's not very good. And you see Shine continuing to pump mutas from each of his 3 hatcheries, but hasn't attacked yet. Still playing on the defensive, protecting his second base. He's going to try to take his third. Interesting. Taking his third base over at the 3 o'clock. So see if Hyvaa ends up scouting that and can do anything about it. Since it's so far away from the natural expansion, it would probably be easy to send some Zerglings up to stop that from happening. I can't see a ZVZ going on too long on a map like this, with third base so far away you can just snipe it immediately. But there is Hyvaa sending his drone up to the 10 o'clock position to do just that, trying to build a base, shut down by 1 Zergling. And that's kind of why ZVZs don't get to mid to late game very often. It's because the Zerglings just go out, stop a base from going down, so you're just stuck on your 2 for a while. But yeah, Shiny's been surprisingly reluctant to attack now, and he's allowing Hyvaa to kind of build up his mutalist army. But just look how many mutas that Shine has. A lot. I've been regenerating some health on some of them. I see some are in the red. At least one is in the red. But he's pushing forward now. I think he thinks he has enough to completely steamroll Hyvaa, because now he's going for the spore colony, snipes that 1 spore. Focusing in on the mutas now. Hyvaa's doing his best to micro against this, but the second spore colony in jeopardy now. Some Scourge coming in as well for Shine. Going to bring Scourge into this engagement, and that might lock it down, because Hyvaa, he has some mutas, but it looks like he just doesn't quite have enough. GG from Hyvaa. I'm actually surprised that Hyvaa hung on as long as he did, though. That was kind of impressive, the defense of the second base earlier in the game. But alright, Shine wins. My predictions are going surprisingly well. Let's hope they go well in the last one, too. Let's move on to Group D.